Good evening and welcome back to Ask the Attorney. I'm Amy Rao Mohan along with Kevin Kennedy, and we've got lots of calls already, but keep them coming. 737 plus 737-7587. All right, we've got Jan here. Hi, Jan.
Hey.
Hi. What can we do for you, Jan?
Sorry.
I want to know, is it possible if the police stop you and they give you the breathalyzer 3 times and you don't fail it, and they take you to the hospital and do you the breathalyzer and it hadn't came back, can they still charge you for DUI?
That's a good question. And yes,
Give it to you that many times.
well, you know, many times they'll take that and they'll say, hit it. And they say, well, you got to blow harder. There's one. Then you hit it, and then they say, you've got to blow harder. And of course, I've done quite a few jury trials, and I'd say, well, you know why they had to do it again and again and again. So can they charge you? If you said, I'm not taking the breathalyzer, and you know, it's a good question. I even think about me. I'm a teetotaler, I don't drink, and if they pulled me over, could I weave? Absolutely. You could see Kevin, but I'm not DUI.
Well, have you ever tried to take a field sobriety test?
They are very difficult.
Yeah, I've only done one DUI trial, and I was very pregnant at the time, so that obviously could have affected my balance, but I remember it being impossible, and obviously with nothing to drink.
Yes, yes. And you know, there's several theories that we've used to advance that, but no, you don't have to. You don't have to take that that breathalyzer, and they can charge you. So what I like to say is you don't have to make a lot, and like I said, it's still a debate. I probably wouldn't take it. Now, they're going to take your driver's license if you don't take it, and you say, how is that? That sounds unconstitutional. What about the right of illegal search and seizure? You make a great argument. But I'll tell you, the courts are probably going to say, we're taking your license.
Implied consent violation.
Yes.
All right, we've got Jan here. Hi, Jan. Actually, I think we may have just already gone to Jan. We've got Larry. Hi, Larry.
Yes.
Go ahead, Larry.
My question is, on the DUI, you're not drinking,
right.
but you had a bad accident at work or something, in a car wreck, whatever, and you got to take some medicine that the doctor writes.
Yep.
And if he wants you to take, say, 3 a day, and then you're driving, but you're driving good, but they pull you over for some reason or another. Maybe didn't give a turn signal or something simple.
Yep.
And then they ask you, are you drinking? And you say no. They ask you, are you taking any kind of medication?
Yes.
Well, why? You tell the officer yes.
Yes.
And can they take you and book you for DUI?
Absolutely. We have that happen all the time. And so it's a gray area. That's why a lawyer can make a difference. Driving while impaired. Not necessarily driving while intoxicated by alcohol, but you know, people can take pills and they're as dangerous on the highway as anyone. So yes, and on your prescription bottles, sometimes it says do not drive, do not operate equipment when you take this medication. So that would be something that your lawyer could go back and say, this was not this, can we work this out? And many times the lawyer gets it worked out.
All right, we've got Stephen here. Hi, Stephen.
Hi.
How can we help you tonight?
Okay, I got in late on your talk show there, and you may have partially answered this question. I'm sorry if I did.
No problem.
I own a house actually I have a house in Sumner County, Hendersonville. I had it put in my mom's name 13 years ago. I didn't have any credit at the time. I paid the down payment. I've kept all the payments paid. I've paid the insurance, taxes, everything for the last 13 years. She's actually never even been in the house or even seen it. Anyway, she died a couple months ago. She had originally, as far as I know, the only will out there, I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. The only will out there I'm aware of was done in '03, about the time I got this house. The house was left to me, and you know, the other stuff was divided up in the will. Now, whether she wrote a different will after that original will, I don't know for sure. My sister was executor over the estate. What legal rights do I have holding this house, showing, you know, for the fact that I've lived here 13 years, paid all the payments, taxes, everything like that.
You've got several arguments there. One of the arguments would be, first off,
that she left you.
Well,
the house,
is there
too.
the will? If there is a will and left you the house, where's that original will? If it's out there, you have to probate it. Number two, if there is no will, you've got an argument in there for constructive trust, that your mother had that property in trust, and you could go to a court and testify this is really what's going on. That's why so many people really should be sensitive to try to get along with their brothers and sisters. It's terrible to see a fight among family, but I deal with that on a regular basis. It would be easy if it came down and there was no will, it had been lost or whatever. If you get everybody to agree, all of those could sign quitclaim deeds, the brothers and sisters, to you, any interest that they had by inheritance, and you could get it resolved. And then there's other options. If your brother was just being hard-headed, you can say, well, I'll give you $1,000, sign the quitclaim deed, and let's call it quits. And so a good lawyer would make those negotiations till you could get it done.
All right, we have Andrea here. Hi, Andrea.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go right ahead.
If you've had a felony drug charge that has been more than 12 years ago, how hard would that be to get expunged?
Well, they've changed the law recently, and it just needs to be researched to see if your particular drug charge can be expunged.
There are some exceptions.
There are some exceptions to that, so you don't really know. But of course, if I had an issue then and I had my life straightened out now, I would definitely pursue and pay a lawyer to try to research that, file a petition for expungement, and try to see what you can get done. Absolutely, because it'll make a difference for the rest of your life.
Right. Corey's on 5. Hi, Corey. Tony, I'm sorry, Tony.
Okay, how you doing?
Good.
I would like to know, there's 2 siblings, and my mother passed, and there was a will, but I don't know where it is or whether it was probated or not.
Okay.
How would I go about getting the property changed over?
Okay, well, first off, if you don't know if they ever probated, you can call the county court clerk, chancery court, circuit court, and run the name. They can check and see if there was ever a will published in that, and if you knew about what year it is, it helps them with their search. Number 2, again, if the property's paid for and you maintain that you've had it and you've done this, you can go see a lawyer, file a petition to quiet title, and get it. There's other ways. You can file a petition for partition sale. It's sold at auction, and you can buy it and get a deed that way. There's many ways. When there's a will, there's a way.
All right, we've got Joe here. Hi, Joe.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I was keeping up with the whole Bill Cosby case.
Yes.
We were just talking about that at the break.
Yeah, and there's things that's not being told, like, well, the lady's friend wrote a letter saying she's been lying about this, and that she said it right there. So, well, I was never raped. I just said it because I want money. Plus, she kept going back and seeing him and having consensual with him, and plus him paying for her college tuition to school. And she's changed the stories 3 times.
Come on.
And the judge still thinks he's guilty, even though she changed the story 3 times. The evidence saying she kept going back to seeing him. He's paying for her college tuition. A witness saying that she's lied.
And I think maybe the line was excluded.
Yes.
So I'm not sure that the jury
Well, here's
heard
the point that, and I appreciate you calling in and pointing it out. Remember, we're fighting in front of the court, and we say, let this note in where this woman is asking for money. And the judge says, I don't think so. I'm not letting it in. Well, that's an issue for appeal, but the judge can say admissible, inadmissible. And so everybody wants to know, well, why didn't they say this? Why? Because there's probably been some pretrial motions, and the judge said, don't mention this in the trial, Amy, or it'll cause a mistrial, and we're under orders. It's not that the lawyers hadn't already thought of these questions, and you're doing a great job of analyzing. And, you know, if you were in that same situation, I want you to tell your lawyer every one of those, A, B, C, D, because then he can draft his motions, and he may be able to get around one of the court orders. And you know, there's a lot of things called hearsay, and sometimes somebody opens the door and the judge said, you can't mention that, and then they open the door. Then a really skilled trial lawyer says, Judge, it's all over. Here we go. Now, you brought that up. Now we want to hear. The other lawyers, I object, I object. I can hear the judge now. Mr. Johnson, you open the door for Mr. Kennedy. Now have a seat. And then that's where we're running.
All right. We've got Dorothy. Hi, Dorothy.
Hello. I want to congratulate to
Thank you.
Kennedy.
You are so sweet.
I'm having a trouble with my credit report.
All right.
Where people have used it, and I don't even know them.
Yes.
I've got some of it off, and some of it they say delinquents, and I'm having trouble having it brought back up. It's at 6 something, you know, and they won't raise me back where where they took that off.
Well, and again, if that happens to everybody, you'll see these things come up on your credit report. Everyone should look at their credit report at least once a year. And then if it's not right, write a letter to all 3 of the credit bureau agencies and say, this is false, this is not mine, this is a mistake, and request them to remove that. And then if it's necessary, if they don't do it with that, you can do an affidavit and then submit it and ask them, because there's the proof. They probably have a bill there. They don't have an affidavit, and that's what I would try to do. And if it didn't work then, you know, we'd have to, you could end up suing those people if you can find them who have misled the credit bureau. Right. But your credit rights, one of the most important rights in our lives. They can shut us down when we really need a loan. Yeah, and this society kind of revolves around credit now. Yes. So we know that the guys are stealing information left and right every day, hacking. You know it, I know it, and even the credit bureau, they know it. All right, well, we will be right back after this.